Ready? Hey, what's good? What's going on, everybody? You already know who this is, and it's definitely a favorite utmost higher goddess herself. Shark coming back at you once again here at the P.E.G podcast. That's positive energy generation, because we dead for life. Choosing the positivity through all the negativity that's going on in the world, because life be lifing. And man, I got in my bag with this one. It's a long time coming, but y'all know who this is, man. It's the one and only coming out of Waco. If you know about YT Maya, you know about that boy Michael, then you definitely know about Einstein the Mastermind. So let's bring him to the table, the one and only Mr. Einstein the Mastermind.
What's going on, y'all? Einstein the Mastermind. Just coming in, kicking in with the positive energy generation podcast. You know what I'm saying?
For the show, man. We definitely is very excited to have you on.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
It's a vibe, so we gonna get into it. Before we get into it, all right, make sure you follow. Make sure you follow, because we need to bring more artists on, more public figures on to bring inspiration to you, okay? Their light, their darkness could be something that you can feel, that you're not alone, so that you can push past your journey. All right, so Einstein the Mastermind, Mr. Albert Calhoun.
Oh, so we just throwing out the government names.
Yeah, that government. Yeah. They gotta know.
Yeah,
They
you ain't
look
wrong.
up any other Einstein and Mastermind. If it don't say Albert Calhoun, then it's not the right one.
It's not me.
All right. So, but let the people know a little bit about Einstein and Mastermind, and like, who are you as an artist?
Okay. As I already know, Einstein the Mastermind, Albert Calhoun. I'm coming from Culprits Cove, Texas, actually. Been working in Killeen for a minute. Of course, I got connections in Waco and everything, but been making music since like 9-10 years old. Essentially, I started writing around then. Didn't get serious about it till about like 14, and I'm 29 now, so I've been putting in the years behind it. So, you know, as an artist, I'm very much a reality music kind of guy. Like, I want to make sure that I make stuff that has substance behind it. I want to make sure that I have like a message behind exactly what I'm saying, because I don't want to just put just nonsense out into the world. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like to, you know, party and everything every once in a while, and you know, I know we can't be serious all the time, but also if it's
true,
if it don't sit right with my soul, I don't want to make it. Y'all want to listen to it. So there, that's just me.
So as an artist, you know, when people come to you and do collaborations, features, how do you determine which artists that you want to work with and which ones that, you know, maybe this is not the set for me?
I think, honestly, when it comes to like the collaborations, I typically just gotta go with like the vibes, really. Like, it's definitely one of those things. Like, if I notice that you have a good vibe to you, if I actually rock with the music that you're making, like, I gotta make sure that, you know, you're serious about your craft, obviously. So I think just vibe, serious. I also like a good stage performer. Like, if I'm watching you perform live and like you doing your thing, trust me, I'm gonna definitely be one of the works.
So they kind of like dry. You're not gonna be like,
yeah.
Are you okay with letting them know, like, hey man, this just don't line up with who I am as an artist?
Nah, I mean, yeah, I'll definitely, you know, let them know exactly. Like, I think it's one of those things that, like, I'm definitely very I wouldn't say blunt, but I also wouldn't say, like, I'm just going to straight up be like, nah, you suck.
It's
like,
trash. Like,
right, you know? Like, I'm going to at least let you know. It's like, hey, if you want to come with, like, something different, or I'll try to meet people halfway sometimes, but really I have to want to, like, actually resonate with it and want to work on it to really, like, make that happen, you know? But that's a good, honestly, 70-80% of the artists that come across for me anyway, so, yeah.
Okay. I mean, there's no wrong with that. I feel like sometimes people are not in the mindset to say no.
Right.
And then that's where you get like, okay, the song was alright. You may have one person on the song that was really cool, and then the song kind of fall off after that.
Yeah, exactly.
Just straight off to the vibe. So you want to make sure the whole time on the song it's a vibe.
Exactly.
Facts.
And
I like
honestly, that's another thing with like collabs and stuff too, because with the collabs, like, I got plenty of people that want to work with me, but it's also just like, I have such a laundry list of people that I want to work with.
Yeah.
That's not even funny. So I really have to be selective about what I put, like who I put on what exactly. I have to make sure that it fits naturally, perfectly, everything. So that's part of the reason why some people have been taking so long on. I'm sorry, y'all, but I promise it's coming. Like,
it's just a wait for a little bit, but you know, just make sure the vibes are right.
Exactly.
I like it. Like I said, we first met. We was out there with private hip hop, and that's kind of how we met. Like YT Maya, you got it with people like C Walker.
Exactly.
So like, how did you actually meet up with private hip hop, and you started your journey with Michael them there.
Right.
I know you told me you spoke before that you and Michael went way back in high school.
Yeah, so me and Michael, we linked up like my sophomore year, like either sophomore or junior year of high school. We've been working literally ever since then.
Okay.
But with like Seawalker, I think that was just a matter of like me like randomly being on the internet one day, and I think I had known about like Seawalker and the Free Odyssey camp like 2015, 2016, but I didn't really actually start really like honing in and like, just started talking to them until like 2017, 2018. And then my first actual meeting with them was through private hip hop. So
got you. I mean, I'm definitely with the vibe because I feel like private hip hop has connected a lot of artists together.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
From far away, near, and even near.
Yeah.
So that's pretty dope. My first time seeing you perform was on private hip hop, and I was like, yo. That is a whole vibe. That boy is nasty with it. The stage presence.
I do what I can.
You know what I'm saying? The way you bring people in.
Right.
And then just like, I like music that, like you say, got a story behind it. It has something to say. And it make you feel, you know what I'm saying? So, whether you on stage about to make me cry, I'm like, okay, this is a good song.
Hey, I mean, that's what I do. Yeah.
No, for real, it's a whole vibe. Yeah. But as an artist, if there's any moment that you had was like, you wanted to quit?
I think that comes naturally for like any artist, really. I think any artist goes through that moment, but it's like you have to sit there and remind yourself the reason that you're doing it. Like I know for me, the reason that I make the music that I make is because I go through my fair share of like mental health struggles and things like that. Yeah. But it's just like music has literally saved my life at one point or another. Oh. So it's just like if it had not been for that, I wouldn't be doing half the things. I wouldn't be in the positions that I am. So I just remind myself I'm here because I'm trying to make something happen with this. So I'm going to just keep pushing, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah, so if you don't mind me asking, what happened in your life for music to be like, that hope? Because a lot of time we do go through darkness. Yeah. And music is that one thing that a lot of people hold on to.
Right.
Sometimes, you find out this is the reason why they made certain businesses.
Right.
When they was looking for some hope. So if you don't mind sharing, what was that?
I mean,
what did you go through?
I think for me, naturally, it was like I just had a lot of different issues, like growing up as a kid and stuff. And I was never really like the most popular guy or anything. Or I also had like different things where I did have anger issues and stuff growing up. So the things that would happen in certain instances, certain cases would cause me to get into certain situations that just did not fit well for me. And then through those situations, I'm gonna be honest, I had a few suicidal ideations and things growing up and things. And it happens. I think mental health is something that needs to be talked about and discussed from like, teenage years all the way through the adult years. I think it starts with the kids, honestly. So, but
wow, I like that you said that because I have a daughter. She's just hitting the little teenage area, and she speaks a lot of darkness when it comes to like suicide. And it's not. I don't think it's her fault. It's the thoughts that we have.
Right.
The feelings. When you come from being a child to not being a teenager, there's mixed emotions.
Yeah,
emotions you never felt before.
Exactly, and honestly, teenagers could be
a lot. It's a lot of emotions. I just ask myself like, how did my mom deal with me?
Right, exactly.
So you start writing very early as a kid. You say about 10.
Yeah.
You start writing to music. How did you, when you from the point that you start writing to now, what advice would you give artists about their mental health versus and with music? Because you go through it.
Right.
So how would you tell them how to be aware of their mental health and still be able to push through in a career?
I feel like be willing to be vulnerable. Like it's one of those things. Like a lot of people don't want to like open up, don't want to like break down those walls because they feel like, especially us as black men, we get told all the time. It's just like, hey, we need to stay strong, don't need to cry.
Don't
like
be
that.
sensitive.
Exactly.
Yeah, like stop being
like,
sensitive.
Toughen up, type shit.
Toughen up, man. Especially I feel like my brother, he is a gamer.
Right.
A lot of gamers, they're very like growing up are very, very anime, very soft. They're not fighters. They're not gonna be out here, game making. This is not them.
Exactly.
So a lot of time they get seen as a weaker
Yep.
opponent versus the ones that out here that are saying they're game making. They're saying I am a man,
Yeah.
And like you said, that's some things that as a man that maybe we are not aware of women that are aware because we're growing up with you. So we're going through women issues and y'all are going through men issues, So as a man, from a boy coming to a man, what are two things you would tell young men out there that was important to you, but maybe at first you didn't find it was important?
Well, honestly, like the first thing is obviously like be willing to be open and like be vulnerable, of course. But
right.
Damn, that second thing, and put me on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, because I want guys to feel comfortable within themselves. I feel like in the healing process, we have to be open to like, yeah, I am a man,
right?
But I do have feelings too.
Yeah,
and I feel like a lot of women kind of forget that
right.
men have feelings.
Yeah,
and so that's where you get where the women are more aggressive. They would hit them and punch them, and it's like. Right. Why provoke them to the point where they want to punch back? They want to hit back when they're just as emotional as you.
Exactly. Well, I would say then if that's the case, another thing is don't let nobody tell you like anything that you're interested in or what your interest, your values. Don't let anybody tell you that you're dumb or stupid or anything. They gotta hold. Yeah, just basically hold what you believe true to your chest. Like like hold that, and then also just like I said, be willing to be vulnerable, but also stand up for what you believe in as well too. So yeah, I love that.
Be vulnerable. I think that's the most biggest thing, and stand up for what you believe, because I feel like guys, I don't know, you growing up in a single parent household or you had two parents or
military brat.
Military brat.
Technically single. I mean
that played a part.
Yeah, it was one of those things of like pops wasn't always around because of deployment and stuff like that. So mom did have to raise me up mostly by herself and stuff, and then. I'm coming from like a three kid household. I'm the middle child. So my brother was the one that was always out there doing being a knucklehead and everything. So I was literally watching him and doing my own thing. Yeah. So it was essentially let me learn my lessons from him and then get out there and do what I got to do and see what happens.
I'm the middle child too. So honestly, I have a lot young. First of all, I have a twin brother. Yeah. So they come in the world alone. Yeah, he's younger, and then I have an older brother. So it's like I see him. And I see him, but then where do I fit?
Right, exactly.
So I feel like the middle child is always the ones that's like they're different.
Yeah, most definitely.
But I love that you are telling guys, men, and boys out there to like mental health. It's important. It's very important. I feel like we focus so much on women that we forget about the men. And again, I know you guys got feelings and emotions because I have a brother.
Right.
I've seen him cry. I've seen him, I don't fit in. And, I've seen him get picked on. And he wants friends. He wants to fit in. But because he likes anime or because he likes to draw this and the third, he don't fit in with the environment, you know? And that's a lot of times, that's what it is. They don't fit in with the environment.
Right.
How do you feel your music impact the community coming from like you as an artist? You're putting music out there that talks about emotions, that talks about different things that you're going through in life.
Right.
How are you impacting the community with your music?
Well, I think the fact that people recognize that I've put in a lot of time to hone my skill and everything, but two, once they see that, they actually sit back and listen to exactly what I'm saying. Like I think it's one of those things like once they hear what I keep saying, like the vulnerability and everything, like they can resonate and connect with that, so they immediately want to talk to me and work with me and want to open up those conversations and dialogue. So I think that just being able to be open allows me to open up like any line of communication for anything. So it does allow me to step into different areas and talk about different things that I see going on in the community.
Yeah.
Like, for example, last year we did a Stop the Violence event, ceasefire at the Harker Heights VFW, and I was the headliner for that. That was through my good friend Brock B. Down. He helped organize the entire thing, put on a whole bunch of different artists from here, from Killeen, from Austin.
Wow.
So, and even Waco, like YT was on there as well too. So it was just a bunch of artists coming together to raise awareness for that situation. But I think that basically just us having that talent and that skill, and me personally having that talent and that skill and having the message allowed me to walk into a situation like that. So yeah.
I like that. I like when you do events like that, like Stop the Violence, because we need that within the community.
Exactly.
And like you said, to have artists that are focusing on that with their music, that are talking about peace, that are talking about healing. Yeah. You don't get many of that. They're talking about real things. Right. I'm not shitting on the ones that talk about the club music.
Right.
Even if you're talking about shooting, if that's your life, that's what you live.
Exactly.
You gotta
There's some authenticity behind that.
Yeah,
exactly.
You gotta talk about it. You can't talk about things you don't resonate with, but the fact that you're like, okay, but mental health, we're going to hone in on the mental health. We're going to hone in the problems that we face in the community. Yeah. That right there is going to open up, like you did, so many doors for you and make it more relatable than just shooting guns or being in the streets, because some people may not have those experiences, but they do have, like, people in the street do face mental health problems. Right. So that can be like how you bring everybody together.
Exactly, yeah.
So I like that. With your music, I would say that when I listened to it, it brought like when we talked about the Lost and Found, which is the song that you featured for Artist of the Week. Yeah. When I listened to it, I was like, dang, this is real. You feel me? I was able to relate it. It was relatable. It made me think about the things I was going through. Yep. And I was like, damn, for just listening to him, I wasn't alone, because I feel these emotions too. Yep. But I didn't know he felt that way too, Exactly. So let's talk about Lost and Found. When you sat down, you're like, I want to create a song and give a message in it. How did we come up with Lost and Found, and how you wanted YTMI to be a part of it?
Well, I think that song specifically was part of like my bigger project, Spectrums, the album out on all streaming platforms. But that song was one of like the last few ones that I wrote. I specifically waited for it because I knew that I wanted to relay that message, because with the album, it's definitely one of those, it talks about the positives and the negatives and different spectrums of life. So so I waited for that one specifically because I knew I wanted to kind of like tie the messages together of everything. But then I also knew, hey, I want to get YT on something. So it was like one of those things to just tie the message together, figure out what he fits best on, and then just go from there. And I was actually just sitting on this beat that I had from my good friend Dylan Rowley, who produced it.
Okay, shout out.
Yeah, so Dylan, it's funny because that song originally started as a recreation of one of my previous songs that I released as a single, Space. But there was just some stupid stuff behind it, like the beat that I originally used. So I tried to get him to reproduce it, and then the distributor said, "Oh, you don't need to get a new beat. You're good to put it out." I was like, "All right, well, now I'll just have this free beat." So
like, what to do with it?
What am I doing? So just one of those days, like I was saying, when I was trying to like just wait and figure out what was going on, I remembered that I had that beat. So I told Michael, I was like, "Hey, do you still have that beat loaded up in like one of the files to try to do that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got it." So he threw it my way. I kept, listening to it. And then just the whole time, the melody of the "Lost in this race, that just kept ringing through my head, but I didn't know exactly how to like put it together until I sat down and realized, oh, we all get lost in this shit sometimes.
Facts.
We all get lost in just this race of life. And sometimes things can go up, down, left, right, sideways. Yeah. So it's easy to just get lost in the rat race. But the second that you remember who you are and like what you're here for and what you're trying to push forward and get to, you find your place.
Yeah, you flourish. And I like that because it was like, in those moments, like every day, nobody's positive all the time, right? I always take people 2 negatives into a positive. So sometimes today you may get up and be positive, and then tomorrow you may get up and feel a bunch of negativity. Yep. But what are you going to do to change it to the positive? So I like how you put in the songs like "Lost in This Race," because I was like, damn, sometimes I be so stuck in life and life bullshit that I'm not even being grateful for the things I have. Exactly. I'm not even looking at the journey I'm on. I'm not even like, damn, I met with another person today, but was able to share their story. I'm so stuck in like, damn, this didn't get done. Yeah. Damn, I didn't do this. Right. Fuck, I'm behind on this deadline.
There's a whole lot that just happens all at once sometimes. So I get it.
And you get lost in life. But like you said, when you remember who you are and what you ask the universe that you want, and you step into it, it's like, damn, you gotta be grateful for where you at. You know what I'm saying? So I liked when you brought YTMI in there. I'm not gonna lie, because I was like, okay, I vibe with this shit. Right. And then she brought like a different sound.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like, she put her foot in that song. I don't care what nobody say.
For real. Like I love YTMI. So when I heard her on there, I was like, oh shit, oh shit, let's go. I would be more hyped than she was. But it was like you got the male perspective, and then you got the female perspective.
And that's exactly what I was really trying to go for with that too. I knew that in the second that I started writing, it's like we need both of those perspectives to really like draw the whole human race message, the whole spectrums of life all together, because it's not just males, it's not just females, we're all human.
We're all humans, so we all go through it, you know. That's just the gender of it,
right,
like male,
exactly.
female, but, you know, I think that we all get lost behind that, like, oh, sometimes a male may feel like, oh, females got it better,
right.
or maybe females may feel like, oh, dudes got it better,
right.
because, you know, especially with females, we feel like, oh, dudes don't have the problem with the kids, dudes don't have to have a cycle, so, you know, but at the end of the day, they may not have a cycle, but they have a mental cycles, you know. So there are periods where they're sad, you know, and they're you might think like, dang, why he ain't pushing further, and it's like just having a mental fart, you know. That's what I like to call it, a mental fart, man.
No, I know exactly.
You can't get out the bed, or you don't want to get out the bed.
Exactly.
And then I love that you put that message out there, like we're all lost in this race, and we just gotta be reminded of who we are, you know. So fuck with that. Thank you for putting it out in the world.
Yeah, no
we
worries.
all are worthy to know that you're enough, you know. So you as a person, we spoke as an artist, but as a person, you know, a lot of times you would see, especially back in the day, they had characters when they stepped on stage. Like I don't know, but if you listen to people like Michael Jackson or Elvis Presley, he spoke on it a lot. He was one person off stage, but then on stage he was another person, and then his identity crisis kicked in. You know, he missed how he felt on stage, because behind closed doors he was really not like that. So how are you able to stay authentic of who you are on stage and off stage?
Well, truth be told, I think for me it's kind of different, because I feel like I channel more of who I actually am when I get like onto the stage and stuff like that. That's where I feel like I flourish, because I'm able to really like showcase who I am, what I'm about, where I stand with everything, as opposed to like when you're just talking to me as a normal person and things like that. I tend to be, I wouldn't say like super standoffish, but I'm also like very like, I have to warm up to people.
To you,
exactly.
So, like, you're not just like one of those open people,
right?
You know, and that's what I liked about you a lot too. Like when I met you, the energy wasn't overpowering, because I'm like that too. I seem like, in front of people, I seem like a very open person, but I'm very empath. So if you walk up to me, I'm be like, hey, I got all the energy.
Right.
I'm like, oh, that was a lie.
Nah, I feel it.
And I'm like, dang, who did I come across? Okay, let me go back through it and be like, oh, that person was cool.
Right.
Do I remember them? I think I remember them. But like people like you and YT Maya and Michael and even Note Smith, you know, and Marcel.
Shout out
like,
to Notes, man.
Yeah, y'all, those people, like those are people that you remember, because they are who they are on stage and off stage, like, and I like that, the authenticity of it. And I like that you told the people that, like, that you channel who you are versus this character. Yeah,
exactly.
Because I feel like that's where identity crisis come in, and drugs and trying to stay up and start. You know, it's like I'm doing too much to be Two-Faced.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, whether let me just take this face off, and now you see who I am on and off stage.
It's funny because I kind of call it like my Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of thing going on. Because, like, I don't know, like I said, I just kind of channel what's really underneath the surface. Because, like, it's just like a different switch that flips every time that I get on. And it's like, it's because it's the fact that it's still all 110% me. It's just, okay, I actually feel comfortable with what I'm doing. Let me go ahead and just go out and do it type shit. So, yeah.
Did it take a while for you to get comfortable? You know, because you spoke how, like, you're not one of those people that's just like all the way out there. Right. And there's people too that's not all the way out there. So how can you give the advice of someone else that's not all the way out there, but they have a story, they have music, they have really good music, but they are too scared to actually get out there?
I think, well, for me, my situation was I kind of had to like jump into it head first, because like my first couple of performances, I was really just doing it with my older brother, and like the whole reason why my stage presence kind of started to elevate was because we did like a talent show like when we were like younger and things, and he messed up on his lyrics and he actually got mad and walked off the stage. I'm sorry, I'm telling y'all this. Trey, don't kill me. Anyway,
like he's trying to give the advice. Don't kill him. Don't kill him.
But nah, the reason when he did that, I legit had that devil and angel moment right there. Like, I didn't know which way to go, because it was like, on one hand, I want to make sure my brother's all right, but on the other hand, there's still a whole thing that's going on.
Yeah, like the show is still going on, so which way you go?
Right. So I ended up finishing, because I was like, I'm not going to just let this, deter exactly what's going on with me. So I think it's one of those things, like, at a certain point, like your fight or flight instinct kind of just kicks in too. Like some people, I'd hate to say it like this, but like I always want to encourage people, but I feel like with the fight or flight, some people just have it like innately in them, and then some people do better sometimes when it's just behind the scenes and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just you learn as you go essentially. So I would think the advice that I would really give is just like, don't be afraid. Just get out there, give it a shot, and you learn as you keep going. Yeah.
I like that. You gotta get out there and try. That's one thing I would say. Like we all were speaking earlier, where you said like you and Michael started. You was already on your journey when you met Michael. Michael was starting. Yeah. You've been starting since you was 10. Yeah. See, with me, I've been singing in the choir since I was 5. Okay. But when it came to like, now I always have my cousin. He's an artist. Shout out to Vega Shaw. Okay. He's an artist, and he's been out there a minute. Right. And he's been, since I was in school, like middle school, he would tell me like, you should do a song. You should do a song with me. You should put it out there. And I wasn't that person, because I was very aware of what type of school I was at,
Nah, of course.
And so I did a lot of sports, and I was like, this is more like popularity. Right. I'm not that popular, so I don't want the criticism. I don't want nobody thinking I'm better than them. That was just me. I was very shy. I didn't want that type of attention. But then. And once I got out of school, I wanted to know more about my music career. Right. I was like, I want to know more of who I am. Yeah. I was like, shit, people keep telling me I got a gift. Why not use it? Let's do it. Let's just do it, And I would say that I ran into like all type of people, different things here and different things there. Right. But one thing I learned was since I got to Texas, it's been nothing but like mad connection. Yeah. In Texas. I love Texas because the artists here seems like they have a limitless dream. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just started? Fuck it, all right. Get on my shit. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they are not scared to jump out there and do it. That's one thing I like about Texas, like a melting pot when it comes to artists.
Nah, for sure, yeah.
And I feel like when I met probably hip hop, it was like that. It was
exactly like that.
Artists, it was all type of artists, and it was like, oh shit. There's a vibe right here. Yep. You think, okay, you need to turn up. They're gonna turn up vibe right here. Yep. Shit, you wanna cool down? They're going to cool down vibe right here. It was like,
want to be introspective? Here's another one right here.
Like Mr. Impact, they was over here. Right. You know what I'm saying? You got some behind the scenes, and people behind the scenes was doing great things. Oh yeah. So it's like, damn. I like this culture.
Oh yeah, So they definitely got a well-oiled machine over there. Shout out to Prescription and Private
Shout out, man. Y'all keep doing y'all thing with the artists. You definitely pushing the culture. You're definitely doing things for local artists and even more. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like local artists, to me right now, is better than mainstream right now. Like mainstream got some dope ass artists. But I feel like mainstream is just doing too much.
Well, I also think too, it's like it's at a certain point to where, like, a lot of the mainstream just doesn't have that same hunger anymore. But a lot of it is also morphed so much into like the social media and everything that it's just like it's not hitting the same as it was when people such as ourselves were growing up and stuff like that. We don't have people hitting a million streams in a week kind of thing. True. Or not a million streams, a million album sales in a week kind of thing. We don't have that same cultural impact the same way. The only thing that's even come a little bit close to that recently is the whole Drake and Kendrick Lamar thing.
That's true.
But even then, it's just like after a certain point, and went on for like a whole month.
No, for real. I'm like, I'm at the point now, and I keep hearing, I'm like, wait, it's still going on?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay, you got your check now. We got it.
All right, we're done. All right,
yeah. I like that because, like, when you look at I'm glad you put social media in there because I feel like there's a shift with social media has happened. Yeah. Like you said, they're not. It was harder for artists to hit these type of accolades, but now it's easier. Exactly. You had 106 in Park to tell you, like, oh, this is the hottest artist that's out right now. Now you can go on there and you can just see so many people are hitting these accolades, and it's not just mainstream. It's local artists, underground artists. They're all hitting these opportunities.
Exactly. And the thing about that too is like it also you can cater it to what you want to hear nowadays as well too. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people, when they give the message of, oh, I don't listen to hip hop or I only like certain artists or everything, everything sounds the same. It's like, nah, like you got different subgenres, you got different subcultures. Like you got people out here making country rap, you got people out here making conscious rap. It's literally the same as any other genre. You just have to go and find it. And with social media, like I said, it's a blessing and a curse because it's like, on one hand, it is that instant gratification, but also it allows you to go literally look for what you want specifically. So why not?
Why not use it? Yeah. Well, how would you say, as artists, you have to use social media to get yourself out there? Yeah. What are ways that you would tell young artists that are just coming in, how to use the social media properly to be able to keen in on the right audiences. Like you
Right.
just said, it's about what you like and who's going to gravitate to you. So how can they use social media to grab the right people?
Well, I think, like I was saying earlier with the vulnerability as well too, I think that's one of those things like you have to account for on that as well, because like be open and be yourself. Like I think people gravitate towards that authenticity. Like you got different people that are out here doing the anime rap, so you got different people out here that are doing like I'm gonna talk about, I don't know, just anything that's popping right now, or I'm gonna be on the 21 Savage type wave or something like that. So it's just cater what you create to who you're really trying to market yourself to and who you're trying to be, like, well, not trying to be, but who you are. So, and eventually there's plenty of people that have the same interests, so it's like eventually that'll come. Also, another thing that I've peeped game on as well too, short form content. That is definitely a way to go. That is something I'm lacking on right now myself, but also I'm still building everything as well. So, that's something that a lot of people, like, that's how people are eating now. Like, honestly, artists are becoming more influencers nowadays anyway, too. So, like, it's kind of molding together. But, like I said, double-edged sword with that as well, too, though, because it's like it's a blessing and a curse, because now you have to be a TikToker in order to,
like you gotta be on some type of social media and then you got the ones that, like, are not as, like the people that are behind the scenes have to come from behind the scenes now to be more in front of the scenes, so people can see. Like engineers are used to be behind the scenes, but now they want to see who's the one mixing your stuff,
right?
So now you got to show them, okay, this is how I mix. This is my face. They want to know. Versus back in the day, I was just behind the scenes. Just put my name on the album and credited by, engineered by, and then that's all they wanted.
But I think also in that same breath, that doesn't mean that people aren't eating off of that as well. Off of the other way around as well too, because perfect example, one of like the artists that I really like follow behind and everything, John Bellion, he wrote that song All Time Low. Well, he made the song All Time Low, and he wrote for different people like Eminem, Rihanna. He wrote most of the newest Justin Bieber album and stuff. He literally had to step into the forefront and try to be like that pop star for a minute and put out like, the song All Time Low and his 2 albums and stuff. And then once he realized what was going on, he fell back. He did start writing for everybody else. But that was how he was eating already beforehand. So it was easy for him to just go ahead and fall off into the shadows, because shit, I just wrote the Jonas Brothers album. So it's like, I think it's just one of those things, like once you cater what you're doing to what you want to do, and then once you put it out there, people will follow. Like,
because I don't know if you know about Coco Jones. She kind of did the same thing. Like, she's been on the market for a while. She wrote with many artists. She wrote songs for many artists. Right. And then now she did her song, and it went crazy. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, she's the new artist. It's like, no.
Nah, she been here.
She was behind the scenes. She was the main writer, and now she's coming out, like I said, had to do a few things from behind the scenes. And now
same thing with Leon Thomas, too,
Exactly. Hey, bro, I'm glad you said that, because I love me some Leon Thomas.
Oh, yeah,
man.
He's hella talented.
Hella talented. He was talented on R. Kelly.
Right.
But I don't know if people actually paid attention. I was like, wait, this dude wrote so many people music, and he's just not getting accolades with social media, but he's been getting accolades. I'm like, everybody else is like, oh, you should definitely tune into Leon Thomas. I'm like, wait, I'm already tuned into him. He's not new, but social media wise, he's now getting more accolades, and he's been heard a lot more. So I like that. I like that you brought him up. I definitely see your vibe like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very creative. It's very lo-fi. You know what I'm saying? But if you need a turn up too, I can definitely see you up on the turn up too. I know you and Michael be killing the stage. So definitely gotta keep doing your thing, man. You definitely gotta keep doing your thing.
Appreciate that.
What are some future projects that you're working on? And what are some artists that you're, you said you got a whole list.
Right.
So give us like 2 or 3 artists that you're looking forward to working on.
Okay.
And the projects that you're working on.
Well, as of right now, we haven't really talked like too much about it. But me and Michael are working on our joint album right now. We used to do like a duo. We used to be We Are the Outsiders, but we kind of, once we started getting more and more like into the field and everything, kind of realized, okay, let's go ahead and separate ourselves just for a little bit. Obviously, people still know that we're working together, but like we could eventually come back to this. But now, we are honing in on our My bad. I had a brain fart for a minute on like our group project. Yeah. So we're working on that right now. Other than that, as far as myself, I'm working on just like, putting out different singles right now. I think I'm really into like single mode until I'm ready to get into the next project. But I know I want the next project to, be a little bit on the lighter side. I don't want to like, because I feel like I really dove deep into like a lot of different things as far as the mental health side of stuff, which is what I wanted to do, obviously. But I think, I don't want people to just pigeonhole me and be like, oh, he's the sad rapper. He's the next Rod Wave. Yeah. I don't want that. Because obviously I showed off my versatility in everything that I did before that and with this. So it's like, obviously I can do it all, but.
It's like, oh, my boy got sad all of a sudden.
Right, exactly.
He's still sad.
Right.
No, I'm real. I told my wife that. I was like, yo, you gotta be ready for the emotions when you go to Rod Wave. You can't go to a Rod Wave concert and don't think this about to hit the field.
Exactly. For to walk out and be like,
Yeah, he'd be like, oh,
cheers.
Well, yeah, I like that.
But outside of that, I'm just, working on different singles right now. Just trying to drop those. I'm working on a single with a prescription. He should be dropping his verse here pretty soon. I got one with Big R in the works.
Hey, Big R.
Yeah.
That's my boy too.
Yeah. So
shout out to
he
him.
he definitely did his thing on this one. So I'm excited to get that one out there. Who else am I working with? I already worked with P.E.G. He's another artist out of Waco. Then I have a feature with I Am Critchy, an artist from Austin as well too. Other than that, I'm really just kind of, just working with a lot of people. Supposed to be trying to get an Offside Nino feature here soon too. We gonna make that one happen. He go
hard too.
Yeah.
If you want to a turn up, you gotta hit him up because that boy he got all type of energy on stage, bro. I be tired watching. I'm like, damn.
Right. It's like, how are you doing this?
You on the third song and you still hype? Like, I need water, and I'm not even up there with you.
Exactly.
You feel me? Like, he has a lot of energy.
Yeah.
But he brings in the crowd that way.
Oh yeah,
like,
exactly. That's exactly how you got to do it sometimes. Which, personally, I'm big, so that's not gonna work out the way that I want it to. But if I can do it, right?
It's like, whoa, what's happening?
Right.
No, I got you. Well, that's definitely dope that you're focusing with these features, and then you said singles, and I hear a lot of people talk about like, oh, I push more singles, I push more albums.
Right.
Which one you think is better as an artist to get your music out there, to stay relevant or just stay on and in on your craft? Is singles or albums?
Well, the way that it's become, like, since we were talking about social media and stuff, since we got to be like influencers nowadays too, I feel like in order to push that relevancy in today's day and age, you kind of have to go the single route. You have to build a consistency, and you have to make sure that you got a release strategy with these things. Yeah. So, like, if you have to have some kind of short form content, if you have to have the video, like the music video on the ready and everything, if you have to put up a little bit of money for the budget, sure, yeah, that's probably the way to go. But I feel like albums at the end of the day too also still speak on your artistry as altogether. So I think there's really space for both to work, but you just have to build it into your strategy, your release. Like, you have to be very strategic about what you're doing with these things. So yeah.
So basically knowing which one works for you and then strategically going that way. So if you're a person that likes to push out those singles and then I guess leading up to the album, because I think that's what Michael was telling me, like he put out a few singles, but then it leads up to the album.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you check out the album, you're heard of these songs before. Maybe like one or two songs are new, but I was leading you up to the album itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's basically exactly how it goes. I think me and Michael talk about this all the time, honestly. Like, we're roommates now, so it's like we have no choice but to just sit there and talk music. But, so we talk about that is how do we keep people engaged? What's the way to keep people coming back and everything? And I think one of the main things that we've realized that, that we're lacking on is video content. And, I think that just comes with time. That just comes with the money. That just comes with everything. But once you get it, like, it's like, push that video content, because that's how people see your face. That's how people will realize who you are. Do that. So, I think most definitely just get as much promo stuff together, lock it in, keep it going. Yeah.
And I like that you said that, because I feel like when you watching different artists,
Yeah.
you have to be like just like this artist or just like that artist,
Right.
and just like that artist, instead of like you said, honing in of who I am.
Yeah.
This is who I am, and then
Yeah.
this is what works for me,
Yeah.
and then taking what you learn a little bit from different artists and then including it to your strategy.
Exactly, yeah.
That's really how you're supposed to do it, because not everybody's sauce is gonna be the same. So
Right.
yeah, he gave you the blueprint, but that was his blueprint. You gotta
Right.
take what works out of that blueprint and what
Exactly.
fits you. So yeah. Michael.
What's up,
that was my boy right there.
Right.
but
Shout out Michael.
Shout out
walking.
Michael. Yeah. But it's definitely fire to see that, and then sit down and talk to you and hear you say that, because hopefully this encourage other artists to continue to be themselves.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know, we don't have to be exactly like the people on mainstream.
Right.
That's how they make their money. But you got to think about it. They wasn't always mainstream.
Exactly.
They got the attention somehow.
Yep.
You know, like the baby, he went and got his attention by wearing diapers.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't have been me, but hey, what did you just own? Like, right? Like, I'm not for this to be out here just grown man in a diaper. Like, that's not me. Like
it was like thugged out with
right.
the diapers. Like that was definitely dope, but it was weird, but it caught people attention.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So,
Yeah.
I don't think you would go that extreme.
Nah.
I don't see you going that extreme, but who you are and just your music definitely catches that same wave, you know. What is for you? I like to just change it up, and I like to talk like music, and then, like you said, mental health and just choices in life. In life, we have choices. Sometimes they're not good. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they're not good.
Yep.
So
Everything's a spectrum.
right. For instance, like I'm open. So recently, I had this incident inside my marriage where it was like me and my brother had a friend.
Okay.
And this friend was actually an ex. But we was all friends.
Right.
And at that time, it didn't mean, like, to me, I didn't think about it that way. Like, dang, this is ex, and maybe this person may feel some type of way.
Right.
Right? So with choices, you have people around you, and you're switching from one type of life to another, versus, like, you're a child, and now you're going to a teenager.
Right.
You're a teenager, becoming an adult. Young adults becoming adults.
Right.
We don't necessarily know what is the right choice, what is not the right choice.
Yeah.
So in the choices of life, how do you determine, like, okay, this is who I was as a high school kid, but now I'm about to be 30.
Right.
This is who I am now. How do you accept, like, choices and understand, like, I have to make a choices from this mindset and not this mindset?
I think, damn, you just asking all the good questions.
Yeah,
really.
I got to, because we spoke like mainly on mental health.
Nah, I get it.
And in life, you talking about like how you went from a kid, you was writing, and you went through all of these emotions, and now you're about to be 30. You're not that same kid no more. You went through like 3 phases of life.
Exactly.
You know, so we gotta ask, like, from that mental mindset, you were in a different mindset versus who you were as a high school kid, or who you were mainly in your 20s.
Yeah.
So how are you shifting into your 30s with a different mindset?
Well, I think part of it too is, like you said, with like the different life experiences. Sometimes some things just kind of mold you and make you into somebody else for the better, or somebody else for the worse. So I think it's really just a matter of going through those experiences, letting life sometimes, really. Like,
life be life.
Yes. And then just taking as many lessons as you can from those experiences, and then deciding, okay, did I like this? Did I not like this? Like, just having that certain level of understanding of growth and maturity, and being able to make the decision from there. Because, like, if it's something that didn't benefit you, of course you're not going to want to do it again. You know what I'm saying? So, or if it's something that just destroyed a relationship that you thought was good, of course you're not going to want to do the same thing. Or if it helped strengthen something that you were, that you really liked, you're going to lean into it. So, like, certain things, as you keep going and as you keep evolving and progressing, like, it just kind of just naturally happens, So I just think definitely let life do its thing sometimes.
Because life be lifing.
Yes.
And I don't feel like it's like any choices are wrong choices. It's all about the lesson that you have to get out of the choice.
Exactly.
And the mindset that you was in when you made that choice.
Right. Yeah.
Can I be open and say, damn, I was wrong.
Right.
Because some people can't say that.
Yeah.
And you said one thing that like struck me. You said that at first you had to get over you said you had dealt with anger issues.
Yeah.
And you seem very calm. I definitely don't. I couldn't see you angry, but I'm pretty sure that took a lot of work.
Yeah, it definitely did. A lot of work, a lot of I just things, man. Like
A lot of things.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how to say it. It was just a lot that happened all at once. Like, I've definitely gone through my fair share and like been through the ringer, but I think it's just one of those things for me. Just like I said earlier, like if you just go through it and like you realize that this did not benefit me at all, why do you want to keep doing the same? That's like the definition of insanity right there.
Yeah,
it's like keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result.
Fact.
Nah, like eventually you're gonna be like, something about this ain't right.
Yeah,
Like,
it didn't make me feel good.
Right.
I didn't get any positive result out of it.
Yeah.
I look like a dick.
Yeah.
You know? I definitely vibe with you on that one. So how did you put it yourself in a Zen mindset? You know, you went from that, but then now you're more calm and you can talk about it. Like, how do you get there?
It's
What was the first step?
First step is definitely being able to have that discernment to where you're able to step back and be like, man, you know, figure out this was not the move for me. But I think a lot of it is just being able to step back. You're like being able to like sit back, self-reflect, think about things from like an outside perspective as well too.
Gotcha.
Because like you may see things one way, but think about how somebody else sees it as well too. Like you may be like, oh, this is normal to me, but somebody may look at you and be like, this nigga crazy.
Yeah, like, this is not normal.
Like,
this nigga off.
Right. So it's like just being able to like think of it from an outside perspective. And I think that's one of the first steps, like really being able to just look at who you are from somebody else's eyes. So
Basically, you're coming from a role of me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
To like, oh, how do I make this person feel?
Right.
And like, especially if they're important to you, it's like, okay, like you said, does this serve me? Does me acting like this serve me? Because if I'm still getting the same results, but I'm looking for a different result, then I can't be crazy. I can't be insane. I have to change something I'm doing.
It's like, don't get me wrong, in order to evolve as well, you have to have some kind of level of selfishness, because at the end of the day, you are doing it for yourself.
For yourself, yeah.
But also, like, just have that humility to be able to step back and be like, somebody else might not like what I'm doing, but in the same breath, like I said, there's just pros and cons to each side. There's like just being able to look at your side of things, being able to look at the other person's side of things, and just coming to your own conclusion from there. Just really,
Right there, man. It's a vibe actually sitting down talking to you, get to tap into your mind a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a vibe to like listen to you talk about the mental health part, because a lot of men don't talk about that part.
Right.
So I do think that's very important. Let's line up the mood a little bit more.
Yeah, no, of course.
You said you went to Cove.
Yeah.
Right? And today I even look at my kids and they be talking about the cafeteria food to where at first I was trying to save them from it. I'm not gonna lie. When they first started school, I was like, me and my wife was up every morning.
It's like, you were not getting that here. Take it.
Take this, take that. And they was like, I'd rather eat, cafeteria food, like how kids be. I don't know what the sandwich, I would eat cafeteria food. And now
it's like, all right.
after like a year or two, we just, okay, cool. We're not going to do anything. We're going to let y'all eat the cafeteria food.
Right.
Now they taste it. They're like, oh, my God. I want what you guys was making me in the
Right,
beginning.
exactly.
How did you feel about cafeteria food growing up, especially if you was out there in Cove? I don't know how you felt, but I know where I was from. It all depended on who was in the cafeteria that day.
Yeah, for sure. I think, honestly, for me, I eat. Like, I would keep it real with you. I eat. So,
I eat.
So I think, my taste palette, like it was a little all over the place because of the fact that I just eat anything sometimes. But that's me being open as well too. So,
like, I would eat anything.
So it's like, I don't know. I feel like growing up at that point, it's like, if I'm hungry, I'm just gonna put it in my mouth. Hope pray for the best later.
I'm hungry. Give it to me.
Please feed me.
I see that. I see that. Especially when you're like, it's been a while before I get the chance to go get some more food.
And I used to be an athlete too. Like I was doing like it.
You play football?
A little bit, but also Cove took it entirely too seriously for me. So I got out as soon as they really did, because I was coming up in the era directly after Robert Griffin. So it was these fools
doing too much, taking it too serious.
And obviously at that time I was also figuring out that I'm more artistic than what I am. Now, don't get me wrong, I like sports. I like sports. I pay attention, but also I'm not gonna be that disciplined to be out there playing sports. Like, I'm just not. Like,
it's like I'd rather be over here with music.
Right. Like,
yeah. I think that's where you find like who you are too when you're in school, like middle school, especially going into high school, when you have different curriculums open up to you.
Right.
You're like, I thought I liked football, but then that's an art program over here. That's a music program over here.
Yeah.
I like music. Then you go find yourself over there, and next thing you know, you're not really over there studying sports.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I feel
like people don't even expect me to say I did theater as a kid. Like not like as a kid, but in high school I did like theater like my last 2 years because I started figuring out, okay, since I'm more artistic, obviously I'm going to want to do things that would lean more on the art side. So something about the theater kids for some reason just spoke to me. So I was like, all right, bet. Theater and choir, I'm going to do this for the last 2 years. I even did like broadcast journalism and stuff. So anything arts-wise, I was like, I'm in there. Like, So.
Yeah, my wife, she's the term thespian, theater kid, and she knows a lot about like the behind the scenes, the what to do to get comfortable in front of the camera.
Exactly.
I remember when we was in the house, I'm not comfortable in front of the camera. I am now, but you would not have guessed. Right. She was like, okay, write this script, say it, and we used to get into it so much. I'm like, bruh, the camera, get it out of my face.
It's like, just let me not think about that right there, and then maybe I'll be able to do the job.
Like, my words, and they be like, damn, nigga. Chill. But now it's like, all right, you said go, boom, I'm ready to go. But it's all about practice, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's very key. So when it comes to artistic people, I think you should definitely have a little bit of theater. I think you should definitely get behind the camera, play with the camera a little bit, play with the behind the scenes, jump in front of the camera a little bit, so you don't be shy.
Exactly,
you know? And I like you said, the way social media is going these days. It's giving kids all the dynamics of a theater kid in every way, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think it was really good. I think it brought more talent to you. It keyed in on your skills for you to do that, you know?
For sure, yeah.
What was the most memorable thing about theater when you was in school?
For me, I don't know, just the camaraderie. Like it didn't feel like anybody was really out to get each other. Like at least in my thing, like it all felt like we were all on the same page. Like that's something that I didn't really get from the other side, of the athlete side. Because everybody's competing for a spot.
I'm after your ass. I'm on your ass.
But it's exactly. And I don't know. I just liked having like that closeness, like having a group of people that, you feel like you could open up and be vulnerable. You know what I'm trying to say.
Vulnerable, yeah. Versus competitive, and I don't like you because, I'm trying to be better than you. And it's like,
but there's still that team aspect to the athlete side as well, too. Is you really, since there's that competitive spirit, you kind of have to hone into that side a lot more. So
versus opening up your environment to collaborations. It's more about, okay, what can I do to get better to get noticed? You know what I'm saying? Versus we all can work together and be noticed. That's one thing I will say about theater kids, that they're themselves, goofy, if they're empath, it seems like they come out their box, and they're the most craziest people. They're the most outgoing people, and I just love it. I do, because I didn't get the chance to do that in school.
Right.
My coach was like, no, you're playing ball. Like, I tried.
It's like, fine, I guess.
I tried. I tried to tiptoe over there to band. He found me over there, like, nah, get back over here.
Man.
I tried to sign up for theater. He scratched my name off the list. I'm like, dang, I'm just trying here,
Right.
Now I'm around a lot of theater kids. No Smith said the same thing. He was a thespian. That's what he brought the word in.
Thespian.
And you definitely can see it in him.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Multiple characters, and still be himself.
Yeah, exactly.
So I love that.
Good old Jeffrey Bodine.
Jeffrey Bodine. No, facts, man. So, if you could give the people, if they was just sitting here and listening and just didn't get anything, right? In 15 seconds, what advice would you give them to, whether it's to keep going personally or with their music? What advice would you give them that would stick with them and resonate them even after the podcast in 15 seconds? Go.
Don't be afraid. Get out there and keep doing it. Just keep working. Evolution is key. It's all how we evolve. Keep going.
Evolution is key. Those facts, you gotta continue to grow. Yeah. When you stop growing, that's when everything go crazy. Yeah. You start to die. Yeah. Things start to fall off, and nothing in life is going right because you stop growing.
And I think as we get older, we still have lessons to learn as we go too. I think that that like even the older people, like if you're like 70 years old, you're still learning things at that point. At least I think. Like I feel like some people might just be like, all right, yep, I've done my job. Let me go ahead and just kick back and relax. But nah, some people just want to like naturally keep going. I think evolution is a key thing for life. It's like just honestly, it's just one of those things. Like if you just get, like you said, if you're not curious about different things, and if you lose that will to learn. At that point, it's like, all right, well,
just here.
Yeah, it's like
because you have different type of 7-year-olds. You got the ones that's in the gym, that's like buff, that's like really out here getting it, and you like, damn, 70,
right? It's like, okay, Gramps,
Gramps, okay, Ma, you got grandma over here looking scrumptious,
right?
Like, okay, I'm confused. Like, I don't know what 70's supposed to look like, but then you got the ones that's like you said, well, I did my time, I lived my life, and I'm just enjoying my retirement, and like nothing else. You know, that's what they're just waiting.
Yeah,
it's like, what we waiting on? Life's still going. Like, what are we waiting? So I like that you gave very good advice, and to see that you are an example of everything that you said. Man, keep going. We need that type of music in life. Look, and I want you guys to continue to push forward. If you're a new artist, definitely go tap into my man Einstein. Let them know where they can, tap into you at on social media.
Yeah. So social media everywhere. I'm pretty simple. It's Einstein TM. That's ITSEINSTEINTM. I know there's a lot of T's. It's confusing. My bad.
It'll be down here.
It'll be down here. But nah. That's my handles for like Instagram or Twitter or X, whatever you call it now. But you could also just Google me, Einstein the Mastermind. I should be able to pop up, and then that's the same thing. I'm on all social media platforms, all streaming platforms under the same thing. So
go check him out,
pretty
man.
accessible.
Ask some questions, get to know more about his music and the people that he's collabing with.
Most definitely.
And I'm sure, if you just starting or you're really good at your music and you're a good vibe, shoot your shot. You know what I'm saying? You never
I'm always
know.
willing to work. So
he may say yeah. He may say yes, right? So shoot your shot, man. One last question before we go. I just like ask different questions, and one thing that's popping in my mind, I got asked this earlier, so I'm gonna ask you. Okay. If you could be bad at anything, if you're something that you wish you was bad at, what is it? Like, what would you wish that you was bad at? Because you're definitely good at music.
Oh yeah.
So what do you wish that you're bad at?
It's funny because I low key kind of want to go back to the point of being bad at music. Just because I want to like relearn it again. I don't get me wrong, I love what I do, but also I love that aspect of learning it as I went as well too. So like it'd be cool to like go back and do it again, but also I wouldn't really change much about what I did either. I just want to do it again.
Go back and relearn the journey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's dope. I don't think that was new. I said I'll be bad at like helping people. Yeah. Because I was like sometimes I wish I'm not good at helping people.
Right.
But I like how you said like music, because you fell in love with the grind, with the journey. It's like, damn, I want to go back. Yeah. I want to fall in love again. Let
me do it again and again and again.
So, I mean, that's what's up. That's what's up. I don't know. Maybe some things that you guys wish that you was bad at. I would like to know. And why, whether it's music, whether it's, like I said, helping people, right. Whether it's cooking, because some people could be good cooks. What are you wishing that you was bad at and why? Yeah. All right. And go check out my man, Einstein the Mastermind on all major platforms. Go check out that new song that he has featured for Artist of the Week, Lost and Found, featuring YT and Maya. That's my girl. Go shout out to her. Go check her out on all social media. Just go type in YT Amaya, Y.T Amaya. Just go put it in.
Just do that.
Don't even put the dots. Just put YT Amaya in Google and she gonna pull up.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
You can't miss her, all right? She's Googleable. You know what I'm saying? Einstein the Mastermind. It's
also Googleable.
If you ain't get the right one, just type in Calhoun. All right, Albert Calhoun. Just type
me and my government name.
Hey, his government name. If you ain't get the right one, because, if you just type in Einstein the Mastermind, you don't get the right one,
right?
Then you ain't got the right one. You got to type that government in, okay? All right? So, man, thank y'all for tapping in with us. It means a lot. Thank you for coming on to the show,
Appreciate you having me, for sure.
Yeah, I was like, I'm telling you, ever since I met you, I was like, hey, one day we're going to vibe together, do the show. Yeah. I just let the universe do its thing. Yeah. And you came to me, so I'm very blessed and very grateful to sit down and just vibe with you.
Yeah.
Please, please, please go check out that song, Lost and Found, playing right now, all major platforms. And shout out my boy Michael. Shout out to Prescription from Hip Hop, Private Hip Hop.
Shout out Note Smith as well too.
Note Smith, YT Maya. whoever I'm missing, Marcel.
Yeah. Shout out
Tay
the whole
Fontaine,
team. Shout out everybody.
The whole Waco team. Yo, shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all and keep doing your thing, man.
And Spectrum's album out now on all streaming platforms.
Don't forget that.
Yeah.
It's
and
on all
more
major
coming soon.
platforms.
Yeah.
More coming soon, man. Nobody told y'all today, tomorrow, yesterday that they love you. Damn, stop crying. Sorry from the P.E.G podcast love you. My boy, Einstein the Mastermind.
Got nothing but love for everybody.
He love y'all, man. Look, maybe not, but no, I'm just He love y'all, man. Today, tomorrow, forever. And yo, go live to inspire. Go reach for your dreams. Push past your purpose. And that's all I got for you, man.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Yeah. Let's go. Ah! Fuck with it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I like that too.
Yeah, that was fun.